if one is not free, everybody's not free. Also, if we are not free, we are keeping people down by putting them in slavery. Everyone should celebrate freedom. That is not a right because people like to keep people down. So everybody, let's look at everybody and say, I love you, because y'all are great. Y'all look great out there. And I tell you what, Douglas, that's right. And make sure you tell people that every day. Make it a habit.
We love you too, Julie.
The Douglas community means so much to me. This is home. This is my home. No matter where I go, I talk about Douglas. I love Douglas. Douglas gave me my values. We had along I Avenue here, there were businesses all up and down this street. The Blue Room, everybody remember? Yes, all right now. We knew about that Blue Room. The Blue Room was a candy store in the daytime and a juke joint at night. I know we could never, ever go to the Blue Room at night. But you better know, as soon as we left Shiloh Sunday morning, we go to the Blue Room and get us some moon cookies and some red soda water. Mr. Jack ran the Blue Room for the longest. Then there was Mr. Davis, who had the funeral home. I can remember as a child, me and my sister and my cousin Sharon and my sister Tony, we were like 3 peas in a pot. And we would, every time we passed the funeral home, we would like tiptoe by it, thinking we were going to raise the dead. I guess, I don't know. But that funeral home stood right there. We wouldn't go in it, but we tiptoe by it to make sure that we did not raise the dead. All right, we had restaurants all over. I remember there was a barbecue restaurant that sat right there on the corner in a blue house. Anybody know whose house that was? Do y'all remember? I guess not. But we had barbers. Mr. JV was the barber. Miss Mert did hair. Yep. Miss Ray Mitra did hair. I think I went to both of them when I was getting them perms, but I had to let that creamy crack go. Okay. Mr. JV had a trucking business also. There was a general store, a gas station. Douglas was self-sufficient. We took care of ourselves. This was the original village of Plano, I would say. I lived with my grandmother and grandfather where the police station is, and my family had a house up here on H Avenue. If we got in trouble at my grandmother's house, you better know, walking up that street, every old person would be out on that porch looking at me and my sister as we passed. We got whooped all the way up the street. I love this village. I love the Douglas School. I love us all. All of you and Douglas are my family. Those of you who were born here, lived here, moved here, this is a family. The African American Museum, it is our job to keep our history, And our history is our history. Black, white, it doesn't matter. I'm asking and I'm pleading with the families of Douglas, we want everybody to see how great you are. Give us pictures. Give us the stories that you know about, like when we used to walk up to the Blue Room, or all of those stories. We need to hear it. People need to see this community is a viable community worth saving and worth coming down and visiting every now and again. It's so great to see you all. Now, Creighton and I are going to pay homage to some Douglas community families.
Washington, Hardaway, the Moores, the Kimballs, the Robinsons.
Waterman, Jones, Haggard, Dunbar, Walker, Dabbs, Trimble.
Havis, Jackson, Stewarts, Brown, Gibson, Palmers.
Whitney, Peer, Clark, Walker, Holmes, Bigsby, Griggs.
Taylor, Hardaway, King, Russell, McDavids, Moody.
Brooks, Tatum, Murphy, Ellis, Whitfield, Gaddis, Hurd,
Lipscomb, Williams, Eaton, Hutchin, Hubbard, McKenzie,
Johnson, Stimpson, Hubbard, Blacksher, Smith, Franklin,
Stanberry, Boldens, Wells, Whitley, Stimpson, and Bonnells.
Thornton, Drake, Guthrie, Shannon, Hunter, Booker,
Davis, Majors, Flowers, Horse, Haas, Wyatt,
Shaw, Wiggins, Gibson, Crane, Hannibal, Hall,
Houston's, Green, Thomas, Abrams, Matthews, Sanders, Denson.
Oakrey, Probst, Dobbs, Palmer, and Hampton. Those are just a few of the families here in Douglas.
Let me say thank you so very much. Listen, I have been a part of this community as for the last 45 years. I've been a part of this community, and it is absolutely amazing how this community has become family to me, as I started at the Shiloh Church on this side of the street, and then we built the one on the other side of the street. And it is amazing how in this community there are so many people whose names I do not know their official names, because I've called them by names that their relatives called them by. And so I have gone actually to the hospital to visit people, and I said, I'm here to see Uncle Duty. And they said, well, we don't have a Duty here. I said, well, I know he's here because somebody else just came here. I saw him leaving, and they came to visit him. And then somebody showed me where his room was, but I don't really know official names of a lot of people here. I only know the names of which I've heard them called, because it's that kind of community where everybody was Aunt this and Uncle that, and that's how I came here, and that's how I know Aunt Peggy, I know Aunt everybody, I know Aunt Faye, I know everybody, and I didn't know all their names. So listen, I want to take this opportunity to tell you that our next two speakers will be ministers, but I want you to know as preachers that they're not coming to preach Sunday morning services, so I'm making sure that our program moves along, because I happen to know preachers, and so I know preachers will talk and talk and talk, but not tonight. Amen. Amen. So Dr. Stafford will come from the Fellowship Christian Center, and then Matthew Berry will come, and he will come from the Greater New Birth Baptist Church, and they will come respectively, and they will come and bring a word to us. And I want you to be prepared, because I'm telling you, they've got a word for us, but it doesn't take long for the Lord to take over. So give what you got and have your seat. Thank you so very, very much.